Excel dashboard. Hi, I am Annie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn about Excel dashboard. For Excel dashboard, you stay with me at end of the video. We start with attractive and impressive Excel dashboard. Here is the best part. This one is really simple to make. We use some pivot tables charts, Excel business dashboard. It shows what is happening at our business level, how much sales, how many boxes, and profit we have, top 5 products, and key trends, along with a table showing our salesperson performance. And it is interactive too. I can go to a different category. I can select any specific product to see what is happening to that. In order to create this, I am using some really simple pivot tables, just 7 to be exact. And that is it, nothing else. There are no complex formulas, no complicated Excel logic, nothing else really to help you go through this process and make this dashboard. I have created a blank file as well. This file just has the data and a layout page. So we are going to use this blank file and turn it into the final dashboard. So let us go. Let us take a quick look at the data. Here, this is the data for a fictional chocolate company called Awesome Chocolates. And here, I have salesperson, product, date, how much sales they have made, how many boxes they sold, what is the expenditure, and what category is the product belonging to. So a really simple data with just about 4,000 rows of information. In this particular exercise, we wanted to present key business summary. That is, what is our overall sales boxes and profitability looking like? And then get into a little bit of what is happening at our top 5 product level. And what is the trend looking like? Because we do have lots of products at Awesome Chocolates. This information should be presented for either a specific category. Right now, I am looking at bites category. So if I go to bars, I will see a completely different picture presented here. Then, we would also like to see who our salespeople are. We have about 20 people, how they are performing at either a category level, or if I select an individual product, then I can see sales performance for that product here. So, once you decide the kind of layout that you want to go with and how your dashboard should be designed, then we can go and implement such a design in Excel. Here, I have provided a template outline for you. These kind of shapes help you put together the dashboard quickly, but you don't have to use them. You can create your own. To create a shape like this, you can just go to the Insert ribbon, go in Shape, and then draw either a rounded rectangle or any other shape.
For us, is from this data, we would like to now create some pivot tables that will do all the number crunching. If you notice this information, we do have sales and expenses, but our final dashboard also shows profitability. Profitability is defined as sales minus expenditure divided by sales. So we first calculate our net profit and then calculate that as a percentage of sales. So in our pivot tables, we will use some simple logic to build such calculations and then use that to create all our pivot tables and charts. Select any cell in this table and then go to Insert, Ribbon, and click on Pivot Table option. And here is an important bit. When you are adding this pivot table, make sure that you are checking this box that says Add this data to the data model. This allows us to build calculations like profit percentage quite easily. We'll add a new worksheet. We are going to name this sheet as Pivots. All our pivot tables, all the 7 of them, will be built here. For our first pivot table, I would like to know what is our total sales, total boxes, and what our profitability looking like. To get the total sales, we can take the sales figure and drop it into values. Because it is a number, Excel will automatically add it up. Here it is showing that in a ridiculous engineering format, but when I resize the column, I'll get the number format for that. Next, I'm going to put boxes as well. The third number that we want is our profit percentage. To do this, we need to also calculate total expenses. So I'm going to drop
expenses into this thing, and then that shows me that. So right now our pivot has sum of sales, sum of expenses. Given these two numbers, we can now calculate total profit. So to do this, we can go to the sales table, right-click on it in the pivot table field list, and use the add measure functionality. This feature will not be available if you have not checked that box, add data to the data model. And here we can write a really simple formula that calculates the profit. So we'll name this as total profit, and here square brackets, sum of sales minus sum of expenses. That is the logic for profit. And then we can apply currency formatting on that. And when you click OK, the total profit measure will be added to your data. You can now introduce this into the pivot table, and then we can see that we have $14 million total profit. Not bad, eh? Next up, let's calculate this as a percentage of the $21 million. So one more measure, indices profit percentage, and we can say total profit, divide this with sum of sales, and let's put this as a number percentage format with 1 decimal places. Let's add that. And we will get the 67.5%. Now that this pivot table is built, let's just drop the fields that we no longer need. We don't need the expenses nor the profit. We just need this number, and that number. Let's apply some quick formatting here. All our numbers are done. For the high-level stuff on the dashboard will add one more worksheet and name this as dashboard. Within this worksheet, I'm going to copy all our assets and paste them. This big box here will display the 3 key numbers: total sales, total boxes, and total profit percentage. So within this box, we now will add 3 text boxes, one for each of those numbers. To do this, just go to Insert and click on Shape and select the very first shape, the text box shape, and draw a text box here. Let's first do one, make it right, and then copy paste it so that we can get the other 2. So within this text box, select the text box, click on the formula bar, say equal to, and go to the pivots page and point to the sales number. So what we are doing here is we are linking the pivot table value to the text box. Whatever the pivot table contains, that's what this text box will show. Now that we have linked that, let's apply some formatting on this. That looks great. Let's copy paste this, Control-C, Control-V, and for this second one, we want to point this to the boxes. And for the third one, we want this to be our profit percentage. Whenever you change the reference of the text box, the formatting kind of gets reset. That's not a problem. We'll select the first one and click on the Format Painter and click on the second one. All right, the numbers look great. Let's add some labels. While the information looks great, it kind of looks a little bit dull. So let's spice it up by adding some icons next to the sales boxes and profit. This sort of thing is really easy to do if you have Excel 365. Just go to the Insert ribbon and bring some icons. Let's search for a shopping cart. That's a good icon for sales box, money for our profit percentage, and insert these icons. Dicons look comically big, so let's size them. And these icons by default look in black color, but they are just like any shape, so you can apply some fill color on it. So I'm going to take the fill color, same as our background color, but a little bit darker. That looks great. We'll do one final touch to this, which is just add a little bit of separator lines between these 3 numbers so that they look like 3 separate things. Again, from Insert, Shape, take a line shape and draw a line. When you are drawing the line, if you hold the Shift key, you'll get a perfect vertical line. Now let's go ahead and create the next set of pivot tables that will show me our top 5 products and how the trends are happening for sales boxes and profitability, as well as the people level stuff. We'll go back to our pivot tables page and select a blank cell further down and insert our next pivot 5 products. So we can go Insert, have a data model. You don't need to go and select the data every time you want to pivot. You can directly go to the Inserter button. click on the pivot table instead of directly saying pivot table, click on that little arrow and then use the From Date Model option. That exact word might be different depending on the version of Excel you're using. So in this pivot table, I'm going to drop my product into row label area and sales as well as total profit. This is showing me all the product I want here is if I pick a specific category, then it should show me for that category what are the top 5 products. So we'll take the category field from our pivot table field list, right-click on it, and add it as a slicer. Whenever I tap on bars, this pivot table gets filtered down just to the bars category. We have linked the slicer. Let's go ahead and implement the top 5 filtering here. To do this, just click on that little arrow, go to Value, Filter, Top 10, and change this number to 5. Next up for these 5 products, let's sort them in the descending order of sales. So, right-click on any of the sales numbers, sort largest to smallest. So we'll select this entire thing and then go to Insert. Click on this column chart option and insert a 2D bar chart. This looks a bit clumsy, so let's do a little bit of formatting before we format the chart. I want to apply some formatting on my pivot table. Right-click on the sales number and go to Number Format and change this to currency. Next, we'll do all the formatting of this on the dashboard. So I'm going to select this Chart, Control, Exit, and go to the dashboard and paste it. First thing is, we are going to get rid of all these buttons. So select the chart, go to Pivot Chart, Analyze, and turn off the button option field buttons. It already looks great once those buttons are gone. Next up, we are going to take away this legend. Now, notice that this chart shows caramel stuffed bars as the top product. That looks a little sus. So if I go to my data, we can see that actually our top product within bars category is the 99% dark and pure chocolate. Caramel stuffed bar is the top 5th one. But whenever you make a bar chart, Excel flips the values so that the topmost value is at the bottom and the bottommost value is at the top. Crazy. So select this axis, press Ctrl+1 to format it, and from the Format Axis options, use the Categories in Reverse Order button. Next up, let's decide some of these colors for the purpose of our dashboard. I wanted to use yellow color for all our sales, green color for all our profits. Finally, I want to blend this chart with our background shape there. So select this chart and fill this with no color and no outline. When I take out the white color, I see that these colors have a little bit of poor contrast with that blue color. So I'm going to select these bars and from the Format options, go to the Effects and introduce a little bit of shadow around it. Next up, we're going to resize this a little bit down and use the space about to add a title that looks great, as we are going to use the same color for sales and profits. We don't probably need to write a legend here, but if you want to have a legend, you can introduce. Next, let's go ahead and make those charts for the trends. So we want to see the trend of sales boxes as well as profit. And these charts should also show for the specific category. That means they should also be linked to the category slicer. One way to cheat and do that is once you already have a pivot table that is linked to a slicer, you can copy that pivot and paste it in this second pivot. Now we are going to look at the trend of the sales. So go to the sales and add date to the row and take out the product. This shows the information at individual daily level. This is too much detail for us. So I'm going to take out the date as well as quarter so that we are only looking at monthly level information. So we have data up to 2020 to December, and then take out the profit so that we are just seeing the sales information. So this is my sales trend. I'm going to Control-C this and paste it once more and once again. So we have 3 pivot tables. This one will be for sales boxes, and in the third one, we're going to put profit. We'll go to the first one, insert a line chart with markers, You will add similar charts for boxes and profit as well. Let's move all of these to our dashboard worksheet. It looks a bit cluttery, so I'm going to select everything and decide them small. Next, we'll do the same thing as earlier. Select this one, and from the
Alright, in this video we learned Excel Dashboard, how to create Excel Dashboard, and how to use Excel Dashboard. Okay, now take care of you, and if my video helped you in any way, subscribe my YouTube channel and hit the like button, and share it with your friend. Bye!